Last week, we learned that this tendency, this trait of the Aramaic language to paint broad pictures, to have one word for an entire concept, is also true in the Hebrew language and in the Chinese language. Last week, we looked at this Chinese symbol for truth, and we also looked at the Hebrew word for truth. So there's pictures of these words, illustrations in your worship guide. I encourage you to look at your worship guide, or you could Google the Chinese word for truth or the Chinese symbol for truth and the Hebrew word for truth. The Chinese word is made up of two ideograms. It starts with like a cross, which is represents the number 10, which in Chinese understanding is represents perfection. Underneath this cross, or the shi is what it's called, is the mu. That is a symbol or an ideogram for the eye. So you have 10 with eye, a symbol for eye under it, and they both rest upon a table. And the concept for truth telling is you need to consider 10 different perspectives. You need to gather 10 sets of eyes around the table if you want to discern the truth. And the same is similar in the Hebrew language. The Hebrew word for truth has 3 letters, which just happen to be the very first letter in the Hebrew alphabet, the middle letter, and then the last letter. And again, the way the word is composed paints a picture. You want to know the truth, you need to know the beginning of a story, you need to know the middle of the story, you need to know the end of the story. And then there's that little caveat that in the end is the beginning, which to me is a way of saying that discerning the truth is a never-ending process.